Hey, Tom. Hey, Jack.
Good morning.
How you all doing?
Well, it's a wonderful morning. So far, so good.
All right. My azaleas are coming out about a month early, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, mine have been coming out for about the last week.
Yeah, ours are kind of back in the woods a little bit, so I don't necessarily notice them, but until they get to a certain point, and then that's all you notice. So they're about, I think they're about 50 years old, and they're pretty tall. And my mother-in-law, who has since passed away, uh, for some reason planted them in the woods all around the driveway, and so they look wild, but they're not. But they look pretty cool. Oh, all right. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about TalkShopLive, and I'm kind of conflicted about all the various things that we can do. But so I'm going to start with just real quick. It just happens to be live right now, and it's a snack or food presentation that's going on. So I'm going to start with that, and then we'll go from there. Let's see here. Okay. We'll just watch a little bit of this. I have no idea if it's any good or not.
Our platform, but I started out as a mom with a mission, just to connect and let people know they're not alone. You know, my daughter has a 504 plan in school, so a lot of people reach out to me about helping them get a 504. My daughter goes to sleepaway, and a lot of people think that's not possible. It is possible. So my mission is to let people know that children can live a safe, happy, inclusive life with food allergies if you do it the right way. So that's my goal on my Allergy Mom with a Mission page.
Michelle, I just love that. You are doing amazing work and really so altruistic, helping others out there. It's just who really need it. Peggy, would you mind giving our social media info as well?
Of course, definitely follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, all at Rule Breaker Snacks. And on Twitter, it's at Be a Rule Breaker. So please follow us. We've got lots of great tips. We share great information, and we'd love to have you join us. We're a pretty young company and love to make new connections. So definitely follow us, and we hope you'll give them a try.
Yeah, thank you everybody for participating today and watching us. And like I said, please reach out, and we have many ways to find us, and we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so just a couple of things on here. The show was around 30 minutes. I think it started at 9:30. The limit on TalkShopLive is 60 minutes. But I think you can contact them if you want to go longer for whatever reason. And I don't know how hard that is to get permission, or even if it's even necessary. A couple of things here. And I don't know exactly how well they did. I don't really see any statistics on here. Let me just try bringing it up a little bit and see if there's any. Okay, so there was 86 people on this particular event. You can see right here in the upper right. I can't really tell. It doesn't look like they have stats on how many bought or whatever. But that's a pretty good group. I also think that it's interesting that it kind of reminds me a little bit of Craig's show, in the sense that there's more than one person here. There's this person here who's smiling with a pile of product behind her on her cadenza. My guess is she's the founder. If I had to guess, I don't know. And I think the bigger picture woman over here is like the marketing person or something like that. And then this other person, I think, is a customer or an advocate or somehow, influencer, whatever the right word is. But when I started watching it at 9:30, and the woman in the upper right did most of the talking, and she was talking about ingredients and the impact on some children and so forth. And one of the things she was talking about, which I'm only a little bit aware of, there's apparently a sugar substitute called erythritol, if I'm pronouncing it right. And apparently a study came out and said it's really bad and is causing strokes and heart disease. And Jack, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I saw it. You have to dig through a lot because I was looking, because I'm low carb, and I was looking to see what products are contain it, and it's sold by that name. But what the study says is the risk for stroke and some other things are primarily in high-risk individuals. So older, obese, diabetes, not so much general public, but the fright factor is better when you leave all of that out.
Okay. So in this particular case, I think this product does not have that, and they were using that to talk about why their product was good. But you can see now it's up to 91 people watching, even though I think it's over. Or maybe they're going to watch the replay. I don't know. The other thing I didn't really see in here, I'm going to try to go back a little bit and see if we can see it. Okay. I just don't see any statistical thing like on sales or anything like that. But the chat down the side, which you can kind of see, is fairly engaged people talking about it. And this is an example of newsjacking in the sense that they're using International Women Own Day, in this case, to do their show. So they're trying to leverage awareness of in this case, a special day for women internationally. And when I was watching it early, they talked about that and how women entrepreneurs are really a growing population, and there's lots of opportunity and that sort of thing. So it was kind of a combination ad for International Women's Day in addition to this product thing. The other thing is, okay. So I thought there'd be more stuff on there. Let's see this here. Okay, so the shop tab, you can see their products down here, and these products can be sold from the live show or from the replay. So when I talk to the people at TalkShopLive, they think some number like 70% of sales actually come from the replays. Particularly if someone's not familiar with the brand, they might watch the show and get some idea and then go back later and buy something. But the other thing is, and we're going to cover this just not super technically, but just an overview. All of this integrates with Shopify. So if you do have Shopify, all of this stuff integrates in automatically with your, now there's no such word as automatically. They provide the methodology to connect your Shopify store to this. So inventory, cash, or payments, all of the traditional stuff that you get when you sell something on your website flow through from this program as well. They also have integrations for non-Shopify, and I'll share all that. I have not dug into either one, but they do have staff people. They're not like TalkShopLive where nobody ever calls back. They seem to be pretty well staffed. They have people who will help you as you go through this process. But I really like the integration with, in this case, Shopify or whatever your e-commerce is. I think it makes life a little bit easier. One of the other things that we'll go over in a second when we go through the kind of the seller's guide, you can designate products that are only on this show, even though it's in your Shopify. So it doesn't have to be, if you want to do a show special, let's say 2 for 1 or whatever, that does not appear on your website. It only appears on this show. or the video. So you have the ability to develop really a different channel, if you will, but still using your same back end process, which I think is really cool. Any questions or reactions to that at this point? Okay. So anyway, we'll go on a little bit here. So now what I was going to do is I was going to, if I can figure out how to do this without losing everybody. I'm going to go through their seller success guide just to give you an idea. And I promise we're not going to go in depth, but I want to make you aware of all the resources that they do have. Let's share the screen here. So in this case here, they have a series of materials on their website. This is called their help center. It's fairly detailed. Like here's the Shopify integration. For example, it walks you through how to actually do it, which I think is helpful. But what I'm going to spend a little bit of time on is this seller success guide, and then we'll talk about pricing a little bit. So they refer to your space on them as your channel. That's the word they use. There's also, which is a little bit confusing, there are also channels in addition to your channel. So for example, they have something called the rock and roll channel, right? So the rock and roll channel is comprised of a whole bunch of artists that are going live. They might be selling a new CD, they might be selling a book, they might just be chatting with customers and selling t-shirts. It's all over the place, but it's organized so that everybody, and we'll go through this in a second, it's organized so that people go to that channel for that category. If you talk about category design, right, this is a pretty specific way to do category design in that the site itself puts you in a category. And I'm working with Jack Nails to create hopefully a Got to Be NC channel, which will give us the ability for everyone who's a member to be able to be discovered and be found, and to also, so that we can all promote that channel. I can convince Jack to put a few dollars in, perhaps from the state budget or whatever, the agriculture budget or whatever we can scrounge up, instead of trying to promote a particular site or particular brand. We'll promote this channel, so it behooves everybody to get there on that channel. There is no cost to set it up. There is a cost if you sell something. It's a variable. I think it's 10% or 9%, something like that, depending on your volume. So it's not free. It is free to participate, but not free to actually make sales. Jack, did you want to touch on that a little bit?
No, I'm good. I'm real excited. I like so far everything I've been hearing compared to Pop Shop, which we've talked about. I'm looking forward to hearing you talk about the sales process and the shipping and cost, how that compares to Pop Shop.
Okay. Okay, so we'll just kind of go through it. So one of the things that they do, so they go through this process where you're basically uploading assets, right? Your logo, pictures, video preview, which we did on TalkShopLive, stuff like that, and it walks you through all that process. But they also really encourage you to register your existing followers to the extent that you can. If you've got, maybe you have a customer list, an email list, maybe you have, social media. They want you to try to register those people so that you can communicate with them and tell them, hey, we're going live. And I think that was pretty similar to TalkShopLive, as I recall. And they go through the process of here, what you should do the day before, post the product, and just basically gild the path forward for people to know that you're going live. The pre-production is basically just make sure all of your social channels are connected. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they walk you through that process. They got a whole, you can see it here, 1 day before going live, day of show. They don't really get in depth on production, but lighting is really important, as we've talked about. You want to have the lighting behind the camera, not behind your head, ideally. And we've talked about ring lights and whatever. It could be a big window with lots of natural light coming through. The thing that they also emphasize here, using your camera, which most people will be using a smartphone at this point, really hold your product up close, or get your camera, your phone up close to the product and show the product, show the packaging, show the product, and move it really slowly. People tend to go way too fast. If someone's watching a video, give them a chance to digest what you're showing them. Don't just rush through it. And also this talk to the camera as if you're talking to a friend or a group of friends. This will be hard for some of you because you haven't done it before. But once you do it a few times, you'll kind of get it, even though you're looking at the phone or the camera. You'll eventually get the feeling, hey, I'm talking to friends here, or people who are interested, and you want to try to have a little bit of fun. Kime in his show put on a peanut suit, and which I thought was a big hit. Try to make an effort to have fun. It will help you. Okay. This thing about content and conversation, this is something we need to talk a little bit about. So the model for all of this comes out of China, and China, various companies in China have been doing live streaming commerce for a few years now. And just by comparison, I think the number for the US for live streaming, I'm just going to make this up, something like $10 billion. Okay. Or maybe it's less than that. I'm not sure, but just by orders of magnitude in China, it's in the hundreds of billions of dollars. There's so much activity over there that it's crazy. And a couple things that they do that we haven't really talked a lot about. One of them is using influencers or guest hosts, or like in the example we saw this morning, having an advocate or somebody who's a big part of your brand or a fan of your brand, influencer, another word they use. Really don't hesitate to do that. It does not have to just be you. And particularly if you're not comfortable, if you're not a natural at this kind of thing, it makes you a little bit nervous. Don't hesitate to get others involved. And you might turn out like our fella from Goldsboro in one of the earlier classes, or his son ended up being the star of the show. He doesn't go on at all. His son, who had nothing to do with his farm before, is now, his guy, his host or whatever. So you can develop different kinds of hosts, guests. You have the ability, like you saw in the video earlier, to split the screen and have people who are from other locations come on your show, which is convenient. You could even have, come to where you are. If you are physically somewhere that you can have room for a guest, maybe you're sitting at a table or a desk, and you can have a guest come in. And we've all seen that kind of format on TV, and we've probably seen it on QVC or other places. So you can, I think you don't want to underemphasize that. I think experimenting with how you deliver your show, who delivers your show, particularly if you do this on a regular basis, you're going to want to have themes. It might be Easter time, or it might be, the Masters golf tournament or whatever that you want to leverage to promote what you're doing. You could have a golf pro on there as one example. Sorry, my public is calling. So anyway, I just think that has to be given some thought. I think before we kind of focus on just getting on stream, getting live, we didn't talk a lot about who should be live and how should you go about it. So they've got a lot of discussion here about, what do you say? What do you talk about? That, you may not have thought about. So anyway, we'll have the links to all of this. Couple good things here. They think it's a really good idea to have a dress rehearsal and to go through it. And, I don't know if any of you were ever in a school play or even in athletics. If there's one thing you did is you practiced, right? A lot more than you probably would have on your own. And here they're saying, do one test run. I don't have any problem with doing 10 test runs. I think the more you do, the more comfortable you will be, the more natural it will be. You'll think of things that you didn't think about before as you're going through it. They estimate, they promote having a whiteboard or a piece of paper where you can jot down the flow, jot down, you don't need a script necessarily, a storyboard as they call it, or a whiteboard can serve that purpose where you just kind of lay out, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And then you can develop some awareness of how long things take or how much time you're taking. You do not want to rush through this like your hair is on fire. You want to pace it. You want to give people a chance to digest what you're talking about and to get involved. And don't forget, people can buy from the site after the show. And in fact, many of the people who do these shows say they make more sales from the recording than they do from the live show. So the live show is almost like a brand audition. You're auditioning your brand, particularly in the beginning as you build your audience. You're building your brand. So there's some good things in here. One of the things that will happen, and some of you have seen this, if you're doing live chat, you may get some weird stuff on there, right? You do not have to answer every single question. You can ignore things. I'm pretty sure you can delete, if someone comes on there cussing or saying that, they remember you were married to them 20 years ago and you owe them $1 million, whatever. Just realize you're in control of that. But that is something that does happen in chat. Weird stuff can happen. So just be aware of that and try to answer, questions that you would think that most people would have. Don't get really involved in some particular detailed, situation. It was more of a customer service issue. Just tell that person, hey, let's go offline. Let's talk, after the show or whatever, or send me an email or whatever. I think that's important to know. One of the things that they talk about is closing the sale. One of the things to realize is this is a new channel for you. So if you have developed pricing for your retail stores, for your website, or for shows like Got to Be, or the Flavors of Carolina, whatever that is, that may not necessarily fit here. It may. I don't mean to imply that it won't, but don't hesitate to have special pricing, particularly what I would call introductory pricing. Because remember, these prices are not going to show up on your website. They're only going to be on this show. So if you do want to try something, you want to bundle something, you want to sell something you don't sell anywhere else, nothing wrong with that. Those are all ideas that you can make to get people to give it a try. And realizing that it's somewhat like being in a retail store, particularly if you get to know the person, they come in on a regular basis. Don't hesitate to say, hey, Jack, good to see you again. How you doing? Thanks for coming. And Craig, if you ever watch Craig on his show, he is great at that. That's one of the strengths of what he does. I can't think of the name of the show right now. What is it again?
It's a Cherry Orchard Foods.
There we go. Cherry Orchard's food. And I don't even know if he's still going live or not, but do you know, kind of?
I don't think he's done a show since, good Lord, middle of last year. When Fair took off with them, they really wrapped up. And then John's kind of semi-retired, so he's in Florida about half the year. So Craig's trying to run the whole thing, and I think he's backed off of his shows, to be honest with you.
Okay. When he did his shows, and I think you can probably find him on Pop Shop Live, I assume. I just think he's one of the best I ever saw at greeting people, telling them their name, good to see you again. I just think he did a great job of that. Unfortunately, I think he had like a little phone. He had to lean way over and squint to see who it was. I mean, there's ways to deal with that, but anyway, he did a good job with that. Okay. I think after the show, we don't talk much about this either, but what do you do, right? What kind of follow-up do you do? And here they're big on just base. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching the show. And you can, do various things with the live show. You can let it stay up there for 30 days. You can expire it. Can do all kinds of stuff. They also promote a replay, which is kind of a repeat, which is a great idea. You don't have to do anything different. You've already done it. And you can, promote that replay, if you will. And that's a pretty sound thing. Okay, I'm not going to get super into detail on this just because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But generally, this fulfillment process seems very similar to Pop Shop Live to me. Okay, they have this thing called a TalkShopLive shipping label, prepaid shipping labels, or you can ship on your own. You have a choice. And my understanding is it's very competitively priced in terms of what they charge for that. It's just something that needs to be looking into it. But it is intended to be very competitive with your other options. The thing that's a little bit different, I guess, is you do have the ability to just opt out of that whole thing and just do it your regular way through your Shopify or your other website. So that's something you have to decide. I know that some of you have really good deals with fulfillment. People remember it's your product. So it's, it's just what you always do. And if you have a really good deal and you want to do that, you can. Or you can use this prepaid label, like very similar to Pop Shop Live. Any questions so far? Okay, and I'll post the link to that. I think what I want to do here, let's see here. I want to give you all a sense of.
Dennis, I wanted to ask you something.
Of course.
When I did Pop Shop Live with NC Rule special that we did.
Yep.
The problem I have is anyone from anywhere, and I guess in the US, can view it and try to order stuff, and then I'd have to ship it to California or wherever. And
right.
It's super expensive for my frozen product because it'd have to be shipped air to go somewhere like that. Is there some kind of something in that system that you can limit viewers to certain areas?
I don't know, but I can tell you what some of our sellers did in the past in a similar situation.
Okay.
They marked up their product and called it free shipping.
It had to be marked up a lot because I was going to ship it to California before, and it was like over $100 to ship.
Yep, we had a guy selling grass-fed beef, and he was selling in Hawaii, Alaska, and California. And I don't know exactly what he did, but he kind of figured out the average price for his average order, which I would think was something like $65. And he added that to the price of his beef and called it free shipping and had no problems at all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because what happened was, in his case, the product wasn't available in Alaska. You couldn't get grass-fed beef in Alaska. You know, you couldn't get it in Hawaii very easily. So he was providing something that the people in those areas could not get. And the other thing is that this is a hard lesson to learn. But in certain markets, they've got so much damn money, they don't care. It's really hard to wrap your arms around that. You just go, oh my God, $65 added to my gift basket of beef or whatever. These people didn't even hesitate. In fact, one of his customers, I think, ordered like 10 times from Alaska. So, my solution is to just increase the price, call it free shipping. And it'll act as a natural gate, right? You won't get a lot of, orders that the people can't, really afford it, if you will, or you can't afford to ship it to them. But in this case, it kind of solves that problem. So yes, the volume will be less, but your profit will be more. Does that help?
It does. But what about people who are closer that the shipping's only $15?
I'll tell you what we'll do is I'll call Patrick and I'll ask him. He did some sort of math equation that came up with a number that protected him. And I don't know if it was his son who did it or his accountant or who knows, but there's some way to do it. So, these are questions that really you have to do it to really answer properly, right? Because hypotheticals are, you can wrap yourself around the axle so quickly. So my feeling would be to try it. You'll like it. Try it. You like it, and then deal with reality on that part.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen again. So this is the TalkShopLive, homepage, whatever you want to call it. Just a couple of things here. They have relationships with a number of well-known media outlets. And don't ask me, how does that apply to you and your particular brand? My instinct tells me is if we can get this got to be NC marketing channel, I think that we can benefit from that promotion that they do of their site, because we'll show up as a channel that would be of interest for people to explore. So in this case, they're celebrating Spring Fashion and Beauty Week. If you click on here, you see all of the people that are going live on this point, if you will. And you can see a lot of skincare, clothes, different things, hair. So the themes are good. And I think that, the fact that they have this, I'm sorry, let me try this again, that they are following these themes, I think their media partners will promote that, is what I think. I want to take a second to look at this. This is only a minute long, but I think this is worth taking a look at.
Hours, Vogue Club's weekly live conversation series.
Everything that you see here today and everything that we will be using and playing with is shoppable right in this video. So if you see anything you like, just make sure to and shop away.
What's up, everybody? McConaughey here.
It's about to get absolutely nuts in here.
It's going to be fun.
Get in there.
So tonight we are, of course, focusing on contouring. So we're going to be using our Contracision notebook. You guys, this is a beautiful, beautiful palette.
Let's dive into some of these questions.
This was one of the first tools we made, and it is a very rare and unique tool because it is wet to dry. So you can start with wet hair and it will straighten it as it dries it.
Laura, Helen, Danny, Patricia, Beth, Juanita, Caroline, Callie, Patricia, thank you.
Ask me questions. This is also a Q&A.
I'm here now to answer questions if you would like to ask me anything.
I love your questions. Send more. Feel free to just ask away. I can see everything.
I want to answer some of your questions.
That's amazing, guys. That is so incredible.
You pre-ordered yours already from Lisa M. Thank you.
Yeah, it's personal. All of you are saying it's personal.
And you can actually buy it
by pressing the button on your screen.
Every single thing I'm showing you is shoppable on this live event.
You can shop it here. This is in the Camille Blue. It also comes in this color, Mocha Brown.
And you look fabulous in it, by the way.
You can shop it live right now.
Everybody's like, I ordered one.
Put it first on my forehead.
Click that buy button.
Welcome to the family, and thank you for letting us into yours. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I hope everybody enjoyed that.
Follow my TalkShopLive channel.
TalkShopLive.
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 TalkShopLive, TalkShopLive, TalkShopLive.
This is recorded too, so you guys can go back and check out what we've done so far.
TalkShopLive. You got it.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Okay. What's really great about this is every one of you could do a press release or a blog post and say, you know, Opal's Candy joins channel with Oprah and Matt McConaughey and whoever all these people are, right? You can do it. This is where they are, you know, and if, you know, your local area might really grab onto that. You know, they might say, "Oh my God, these guys are appearing on the same place as Oprah and whoever all these other people are." That's a really great opportunity for newsjacking, in my opinion. And you know, the problem I personally had with TalkShopLive, number one, they were the only ones willing to do it for free for us, so we didn't have, you know, a whole lot of choice. But they were not mainstream compared to this, right? This is a mainstream kind of place. And the people that are here are really well known. And the other thing that I want to point out that's happening with these guys is Walmart has a channel here.
And I'm back for another Walmart Live.
So Walmart goes live all the time. And one of the things, if any of you end up putting your products in Walmart or Walmart.com, you may well have the opportunity to go live on the Walmart piece, is my understanding. I haven't dug into that. But Walmart's on here, Target's on here, a whole bunch of brands are on. I don't know if Whole Foods are or any grocery. I haven't really looked at that. But again, your association is just first rate on this platform. You'll be able to you know, promote your connection with some of these famous people. And it's true. I mean, you know, it's a true thing. It's not made up. And this is only going to grow. It's very early days. You're getting in on the ground floor, believe me. So I think that's another real advantage of this platform. So, okay, well that's my sales pitch for today. I think it's a good one, and I'm going to be spending time. I'm going to dig in to the details a little bit, particularly setting up this Got to Be NC channel. I want to try to do everything we can to get them to spend money on us in their promotion. They're very excited because they don't have a group like us on the platform, right? There's a lot of specialty food, a lot of farm to table, a lot of authentic, you know, small entrepreneurs, a lot of women, people of color. You know, we have a good mix of folks that are very attractive to them, I think. And in fact, they're connecting me with the founder. I just haven't had that conversation yet. But my guess is they're doing that because they're interested in doing something with us. Normally they don't offer founders to, you know, people coming over the transom saying, "Hey, can we participate?" So I think it's got a lot of potential, and I'm going to work on developing it to the extent that we can. And I know Jack is going to be working with me as well to get this, you know, done internally at the Department of Agriculture also, so that we can use the Got to Be NC angle, if you will. What I like about the Got to Be NC for other obvious reasons, but the other reasons are it lessens the competition on this page, right? Because there'll be no one like us, no one with our kind of unique combination of things. So I like that. And, I wouldn't be opposed to approaching some of these celebrities and saying, hey, help our small business entrepreneurs from North Carolina. Will you be a host or a guest on our shows or one of our shows? So anyway, that's my thinking at the moment. So I'm seeing some chats here. Let me just check those real quick. See. Okay. Well, you're welcome. Lisa's saying nice things about me. I paid her enough money, I guess. So thank you, Lisa. And Samara, thank you also. So yeah, this is the last class. We'll stay tuned as the next one comes up. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be. But my guess, if I had to guess, I would say toward the end of April, third week of April, something like that. We'll have to see. One of the things is the relationship with ECU may be changing. So we'll see how that all plays out. But we're grant funded. We're separate from ECU. We're not part of their internal stuff, and they've got all new people in place. So I have to justify my existence, I guess, to new people. So I will be doing that as well. But I don't 100% know where that will ultimately go. The guy who was really behind all of this just got a big promotion to Dean of the College of Business. So he is actually physically gone and just really not working with him anymore. And that's unfortunate because he was our champion there. And he still will be, but I just don't have the direct connection that I had before. And so they're hiring, they have an interim and they're hiring someone new to run this group. It's called the Miller School of Entrepreneurship is the name of the program. So we'll see where all that goes. But thank you all for coming and paying attention and going on this crazy journey with all this stuff. It's really been fun for me and hopefully valuable for you. All right.
It has. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Be looking for